那就当明显的理解中，他的我一定是强烈的流光我这种的，可是呢，他让去当我是个啥的，我把是个给，他把东西把就那样都是做起来，马上把他那个思想的对吧，当这样子啊，这是种的当我这种的，前把起，这理解的了就当技能，理解的了，如他的出国的他可上了一样生活起的，没你不是的。说那你不在做工呢？你怎么理解这种西国人了？对吧？他不说呢，可当那给我地方给我说的，我说那个地方第那你在说，你说现在第什么是这种西国人做的啦？真的，我听这些呢，真的俺给在西国人做的俺给，我把这个生钱的年月的，我把这个生钱的年月的成了这个长国人做的，我真的想不到，我把这个生钱的说了，在国外同行里边，然后俺妈妈就有那意思，俺妈去那个了，他的俺妈妈就听讲那意思，我这个就听不来上，我这个呢一单一呢，他呢那边的网上呢，他就把那么下的有意思，我这第二天生钱上了，我把那就网有那意思，我这个让我把那就网有那意思，网有那意思可能，我那里这样呢，我听人家的。这老板这边只有的啦，这人家话了，我们从所见给的是，我这年纪上，这你从这把这我嘛，这把从一头他们嘛这给的是，我这几样子啦，我他家的，他年嘛就呢，收不起，他你嘛跟着头讲，这其实我这几年不拿大不的，上头开始么当我这种的啊，我头上怎么当呢？这里啊，这现在怎么这里当成了这里长，这里其实人家让我们结婚这种的。
So now for the meditation and cultivation of compassion. So we're talking about just the process of meditating on loving kindness, meditating on compassion. And we have to think and actually say aloud the line that says, like, all of those enemies who try to harm me, who are harming me, who are antagonistic toward me, all of those obstructing forces that try to, like, obstruct me, that try to hurt me, and all of those obstacle creators, all of those who are trying to be barriers to keep me from progressing on the path, to keep me from attaining liberation or omniscient Buddhahood. All of these enemies, obstructors, and negative forces are my principal objects of my compassion focus, but all the sentient beings, as infinite as space, are also included there. And may they all have real happiness, and may they be free from suffering. Now here, it's a little different in the context of compassion than from yesterday. We talked about just the process of when you sit down to do a session of meditating on loving kindness, how you're supposed to have the right posture and sit straight up. But now in the case of compassion, same thing, you need a straight posture. But in this case, your gaze, your eyes are kind of directed more like to a serious point, like a gaze of seriousness. Almost to the point where your eyes are like you're about to cry. Whereas yesterday in loving kindness, the instructions are you're supposed to smile. Well, now you don't want to smile, you want to be more serious, almost like your eyes have this quality of heavy, like you want to cry kind of thing. So now it's a little different, because now the focus is compassion. And also, what you have to think and what you actually have to say, and even on your mala, you want to tell the beads of your mala while you're saying this line again and again, which is all of these beings who are harming me now, or who are giving me obstacles, all of them, how worthy of compassion, these poor, poor sentient beings. Because now they can't help but harm me, because they have this intense negative karma. it is not like they're really not in their right mind. Actually, they're kind of like a madman. Like they don't really have control because their negative karma is so strong, and because they are so kind of possessed by their ignorance and their failure to recognize what is right. So they really aren't, I cannot get mad at them for harming me because they have no power to control themselves because of their negative karma. However, because they are harming me, they're actually creating causes for themselves to go to hell realms. And so how sad, how worthy of compassion are these beings? Because they are not only just going to the hell realms just one time, they are creating like lifetime after lifetime, in fact countless lifetimes of suffering in the hell realms, in the lower realms, because of their negative actions. So if I don't help them, who will help them? And then we sort of take upon ourselves this responsibility, like it's my duty to make sure that I help these beings. So this is how we should reflect, this is how we should think. And there's actually like these statements that we repeat, oh, how worthy of compassion are these harm-causing beings that are harming me. Oh, how worthy of compassion are these beings harming me. We say it again and we tell the beads of our mala. And it is said that when we do like this, that compassion will like arise kind of spontaneously or helplessly our compassion will arise when we practice like this.
Exactly. Well, yes, he said that, but he didn't really say like all the way down. That's what he
那我们在禅修悲心或者是慈心的时候，我们应该也把它应用到所有我们的敌人，就像我们的祈愿法本里面讲，对无愤恨之敌人、伤害之邪魔，以及一切阻断我解脱得正骗智者为主之等等的。那么对于这些众生呢，要对他们升起悲心。那在这边所要禅修的时候的一些情况，跟昨天所讲禅修慈心的情况有点稍微不一样。当然，你还是要正襟危坐、双扶金刚坐。但是昨天有讲到说，我们在禅修慈心的时候，我们应该面带微笑；但是在禅修悲心的时候，我们目光是凝视的，是比较严肃的。有一种沉重的感觉，为什么呢？因为这个要感受到他们的痛苦，要把他们的痛苦把它拔除。我们不只是要内心这样想，而且是在禅修的时候要对着念珠这样子讲。先讲一次英文。How worthy of compassion are these beings? Harm-causing beings， 就是对我愤恨的敌人、伤害的邪魔，他们是如此的值得我们的悲心。为什么呢？因为他们没有正确的见解，没有正见。因为他们的邪见跟邪业呢，造成许许多多负面的业。那他们负面的业是如此的强壮，那么他们不由自主的会造成一个很强烈的这个果报，那会不由自主的在产生的地狱道的这种果报，所以如此一想是非常让我们非常的悲痛的。那而且这种果报呢，不只是一世，而是生生世世，由于他们的无明，那么造成反反复复造成生生世世受生地狱的这种果报。所以如果我今天不来帮助他们，谁会来帮助他们呢？所以我们在禅修悲心的时候，不只要想，也要对着念珠讲，反复的讲说这些人是我悲心最主要的对象。那当然除了他们之外，对所有的众生也是应该要让我们也应该要对他们产生悲心的。那一直到反复的一直到我们这种悲心是自然而然不由自主的，就会对所有众生都升起。
There's actually a real line that you recite in the Tibetan is Nipa Cheba Dinam Nyingreje, which means, oh, these poor beings that are harming me. Like, because Nyingreje, I originally said how worthy of compassion, but I think that's too intellectual of a translation because Nyingreje, it really just means, oh, these poor, like what you say when you see somebody suffering, like poor beings, like, oh, these poor beings, how sad. So like that, like these poor beings that harm me, like that.
那这个又后来翻译又更正了，一开始讲说他们是值得我们这个悲心的对象，那个藏文原来的讲法应该是这些可怜的众生，这些危害我可怜的众生是多么的让人悲痛的，应该是这样子，不是说原来的意思并没有说值得我们悲心啊，因那种原先的翻法是比较理智的翻法。
真的是说那把今年的啦，怕那把当样什么的，然后怕那把我是当样的，然后那时候没错是怕那把当样的，我这里什么都这样的，我不是这么多的，我把当时真的讲究世界嘛的，那像你世界嘛的种族啦，我真的他推出什么还是当过的真的，上届你嘛推出上届什么的啦，有团员啦，金巴当的。如果话今年公园的，像你做公园的，我提到那几个，上届重点的啦，高老师成立种措施，他这逻辑他说的人家修光，他点的咱俩都这地方的上届点把重要的，他点重要的，定就的，我提到那几他，其实没来的反正下呢，那么他们在投入去，他投入当中空给，可是呢，起码的投入在地方啦。确实，东亚他们去打可能是讲话说，就东亚什么的，也可能把讲话说中了，这些地方他们去得给说上，谁话说，地方什么的说得给说上，谁说，这就是我们当老公，我这就是当做我的，这当就是么了，可能连就这点人穷的人嘛，说的，然后的投入呀，这个什么的，可能就是么了，公民嘛，在公，第三，俺们提着帮我兄弟公第三的看，就是我做了，我这点人可能地方就。投入做下那民用的让可能基本是那边是我机，我这点写的那民用的然后我这点呢，这等于呢，他就这么的出现不了，呢，或骗出来什么是当然了，我根据恐怕忙不就是这，我说，不能，好。那么，这人，我那么弄的是，我根据恐怕什么的呢？我这就搞几点嘛，这就搞几点，有的什么过来，我这说是这么当过来也中毒，我这真的，这你这也不接送了，我这后面没事你这去过接送了，这个年子。我上年有刚这嘛的是，这就我工的，我这还嘛长嘛工，这长嘛人家要不接送呢，真的他强就成绩过来中毒，我这身边东西对吧？东边是的，东二当这是，这你要是那没个，然后他不做的，强就能不去拖个下，这没把生气的，要是那没个，然后他不做的，强就不去拖个下，我这没把生气，节前就没给露出的，节前就把多，我可是那只有他们家娃什么把这就他家的上街拖把车是哪种？我这就是他们家娃是哪个的？我他真的这的，就把这那就是他们家娃是哪个的？就把这就是他们家的。他对这人的兄弟，经常多别听了。我对这人的兄弟，你妈上门接吧，什么玩意送给我固定，绝对给我的。买喜欢什么玩意送给我固定。我对这人的兄弟，你妈上大吧，在康图这人的享受钱蛮了去。上你这个也碰得着呀，去，给我蛮娘的去抢救钱，蛮娘的去，尤其你现在如果生气的噻，这家庭就给付出了给你，我就噻，我这尤其过来中毒，我这就这么讲，这里大家抢救钱，他说也从这身边也从中的马这吧，这说明这边起劲，我真的看上过来的马这吧，这说这边起劲，我真的搞的提拔起不马错吧。年度的然后上去的提拔起我拖把起个意思，我强调什么？这个人员嘛的话，上面人员这个杀人国际以上，这肯定 生前从那个上去上国际上，我这边开张了当过这种的，我这边他你们养那样气过这种的，这他基本就跟我们说的，你吃上啊，种的，下面就我看他听这种的。你这么来对吧？你们当初家的生前可以，是啦，生前毛子一种，我这真给我现在啦，给我修起步器，原来修起步器呢，那是我给我的了，那没弄就没电器用了，你那工资他得从他我说，然后上街的，来马达那上街要用的，我这就来他我的工资，啥都得用收下的，然后今年我女破窗，我女破的嘛，头1年在那丢，就是我的手机的8寸呢，女的嘛，她电话说是，就是女的电视上嘛，手机把说是，我的姐的就话什么的，就让他别说什么谁也说是，这是那个这，
Okay. So therefore, while somebody is harming us, if we feel the need to retaliate, or we sort of want them to kind of get their just reward, so to speak, and as they are kind of harming us, we're kind of trying to get back at them in some way, at the same time as we're also trying to cultivate kindness and compassion. It doesn't really work that way, because we so long as we are wanting to get back at somebody for harming us or take revenge, so to speak, then basically we are also not able to simultaneously cultivate Bodhisattva way. So instead we should remember that all of the Buddhas of the 3 times became Buddhas because they practiced the generosity of giving up their bodies, their limbs, their organs to the sentient beings, and basically sacrificing their own well-being and undergoing austerity out of compassion and love, and that's how they achieved the state of awakening. And even like our teacher Buddha Shakyamuni, after 3 countless eons, collections of 3 countless eons, did Buddha Shakyamuni awaken to the state of Buddhahood. And that was because of practicing compassion for those who harmed him and challenged him. And it was through that Buddha Shakyamuni sort of taught and revealed the secret mantra of Vajrayana teachings. That's how they came about, from an awakened being who attained awakening because of working with a compassion and loving kindness toward those who harmed him. So therefore, like Jitsen Milarepa also, when Geshe Zekpua offered poison to Jitsen Milarepa with the intention of poisoning him, Jitsen Milarepa took the poison and then made a prayer for him, the one who had tried to poison him, and said, may all of your negative karma and sins ripen onto me, and may all my happiness and good karma go to you. And in all lifetimes, may you always be free from negativity. And he made this aspiration out loud to the very enemy that was trying to kill him. But it is said that Jitsen Milarepa was kind of poisoned in this way because even though he was already quite a high-level being, I mean, from the beginning, but for example, because his mother was so insistent on Jitsen Milarepa studying black magic and sorcery in order to have revenge on the family, then he sort of went to help his mother. But because of the karma of the black magic and sending down the hailstorms and so forth, then he did have some karma that had to be purified. But by the power of his level of accomplishment and his practice, all that negative karma was ripened in one body in one lifetime. In fact, that's what we want, is ideally, if we're good practitioners, then many Kagyu lamas say this, that if all the negative karma ripens in this life, in this body, that's a good sign, because then you don't have to go to lower realms in the next life. So Milarepa, all the negative karma is being purified through that experience, fully ripening in this body, this lifetime. And so that was why he was kind of fed the poison. But even when he was being basically, when someone was trying to kill him with poison, Jitsen Milarepa's response was compassion. Compassion for the enemy, compassion that only wishes the enemy to be, to gain benefit and happiness. But again, so now all this talk about we have to have compassion for our enemies. Of course, that doesn't mean you should leave your friends out. We don't want to forget about our friends either. We have to also apply this compassion to our loved ones and our friends as well. So basically, enemy and friend, we should have that level of compassion that we cultivate. And here is where we pray. May all of these beings who are equal to space in their infinite number, may they achieve swiftly, may they achieve the level of full awakening or Buddhahood. Which, page 13 it says, so swiftly may they achieve the state of unsurpassable, perfect, and complete awakening, this precious state. So that aspiring to achieve the state of perfect awakening, this is from the context of the tradition of the extensive conduct, Gyatsen Chube Luk, so the extensive conduct. And that is where you are aspiring by focusing on the resultant state, which means you are making a commitment, an oath, and a prayer. There's aspiring and engaging bodhicitta. And the aspiring aspect is the wish and the aspiration. May all beings achieve the state of unsurpassable enlightenment. And the engaging aspect of the bodhicitta is making a commitment to be that cause, to make that come about. So one is from the point of view of the result, and one is from the point of view of the cause. The cause means here we take a vow. From now on, until attaining enlightenment, I shall make sure that my body, speech, and mind are geared in virtuous direction. And from now on, until I die in this life, I shall keep my body, speech, and mind in virtue. And from this day until tomorrow, I will make sure to keep my body, speech, and mind in virtuous state. Now here, the point is that we are making a commitment for however long we can, from now until enlightenment, or even from this day to the next, I will vow not to let my bodhicitta diminish, not to lose my bodhisattva commitment. So this is how we are making a resolve, a commitment, and this making of the commitment constitutes bodhicitta in action, or engaging bodhicitta. And then we also, and this is from the tradition of the extensive conduct tradition. And also we go on furthermore to make the resolve and the commitment that all those sentient beings who have not been liberated from the 3 realms of samsara, I will liberate them. I will rescue them. And all of the beings of the 3 realms of samsara who have yet to be free, I will free them. And all of those beings on the lower vehicles of Buddhism, like the individual liberation path, the Shravakas and the Pratyeka Buddhas, who have not yet been granted the state of total relief in the Mahayana path, I will bring them higher to the state of the relief, the joy of the Mahayana. And those bodhisattvas who have yet to attain full freedom from sorrow, full nirvana, I will lead them to the state of complete nirvana, that is complete awakening. So it is that commitment, basically, to establish all sentient beings in the state of complete and highest enlightenment. And that is how we should think and how we should resolve. And this is like the way to give rise to bodhicitta in the context of secret mantra Vajrayana as well.
Tibet ko pa change ko.
So yes, the aspiration was may all your negative karma and all your suffering go to me, and may all my happiness and all my positive karma go to you. And in this and all future lifetimes, may you always be free from like negative influences.
我们有以上这个利他发心的这种基本上的这种了解，就是愿对无愤恨之敌人伤害之心魔，以及一切主动我解脱得正偏执者为主之等等的，我们希望他能够离苦，这种悲心。所以可是我们如果再反观来想另外一个例子，如果说有人伤害我们的时候，你内心想要报复，想要有一个公平的这个结果的话，那如果我们内心这样子想的时候，我们是没有办法同时来禅修慈心跟悲心的，因为我们内心在想的是自己想到这个报复。我们要知道，三世诸佛他们在成佛之前，都是舍弃了自己的手啊、足啊、身体啊给众生，甚至像我们这一世的这个佛陀释迦牟尼佛，他也是历经了3代的阿僧祇劫来长养他自己的悲心，舍弃了他自己的生命身体给需要的众生。那因此他证得佛果来教给我们一些秘密的言教，他都是也因为他禅修这个慈悲心的这种结果。那在弥勒日巴祖师的那一个时候，他有一个人叫做 Singchampok， 那他这个人是想要把那个弥勒日巴给毒死，所以他有一天他就供养毒药给他。那弥勒日巴当然知道他所供的是毒药，那在他要喝下他的这个毒药之前呢，他就对这个 Singchampok 讲了一段话，然后发了一个祈愿文，愿你所有负面的这种业啊，都来到我身上，愿我这所有的功德都到你身上，愿你生生世世都免于负面的这种业因业果业报。